What up, guys? Welcome to the Rumors episode of Smart Weight. I'm Chase.
I'm Ethan.
Hey, I'm Jonko.
And we're going to run down a list of some rumors that are going through wrestling right now. Not just WWE, but the entire pro wrestling world. Give our take on it. See how we feel. And hopefully WWE burns to the fucking ground.
That's what I say.
Is that too biased?
No.
Should we start over?
No, first thing every morning. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I like I said, I live off of Vince's fear. So.
Well, I mean, if Vince goes out of business, though, is there any fear to live off of at that point?
That's a good point.
Yeah, that fucking...
That's a good point.
All of a sudden the Young Bucks and Cody decide that they know better than anyone else because they beat WWE, and then they start going into
and they become the new Vince.
Yeah, they start coming into a PG product, and they don't push anybody except them.
But it's
themselves.
still such good shit. I mean,
the Young Bucks.
Shit.
The Young Bucks introduced their 9-year-old son into the Federation, and all of a sudden he's pushed to the moon.
Give him the strap.
Yeah.
put the European title on him.
Yeah. Cool. So hopefully none of that happens. If we just wish that into existence.
I'm not wishing anything else. We won't say what happened, but the last time that I sort of wished something into existence, it was pretty bad. I text you, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. We won't say what it was, but it rhymes with schmookemia.
No, I don't think in so many words. I don't think I caused it.
Well, yeah.
But
what did you go to his house and be like, "Hey, man, inhale this"? Like, what is that? Oh, that's real leukemia.
Jeez.
All right. So first up to bat, we're gonna start off with something that's not WWE related because this whole fucking list mostly is WWE related.
Yeah.
But apparently, and Ethan brought this to my attention. I did a little looking into it. New Japan is, like, some of the wrestlers are saying that they are done working with Ring of Honor. And I mean, it's almost like maybe it's just people going to kayfabe, or maybe there's some truth to it. Because if you remember when the whole Enzo and Cass thing happened at G1 Supercard, Gorillas were like throwing the Ring of Honor tag titles against the wall in promos, talking about fuck Ring of Honor, fuck the Briscoes, fuck everybody. They were pretty like, and it seemed fairly legit. But now I guess it's coming from other sources as well. But you got to wonder, like, what does that do to their card? Because Ring of Honor also has, like, what is it called, Lifeblood?
Yeah, Juice started Lifeblood.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing too, I mean, because that was Tennille Dashwood was in that, and now she disappeared, and then recently she reannounced. She's like, I'm starting taking indie dates, so it's almost like the people that are part of it know already that it's kind of done.
Yeah, it's not really doing anything. Like, nobody holds any major titles there. Like within the faction, it's all just sort of like, hey, we're here. We do stuff too. We're here to get beat up by Bully Ray.
It's definitely not like when you had the Bucks and Cody, actually moving between the organizations with actual titles and seeing the Ring of Honor title on a New Japan card
and bringing a lot of like prestige to both shows at the same time. I fully agree. I definitely think that New Japan is doing a lot better with Juice than Ring of Honor ever could.
He's super over.
But, I mean, what does Ring of Honor even have right now?
Enterprises? Matt Taven?
Jeff Cobb. Matt Taven.
Jay Lethal still.
Until he leaves, they've got Marty Scurll and Villain Enterprises. Even after Marty Scurll leaves, I still think that Brody King and PCO will do just fine on their own.
Yeah.
That's such a weird situation too with the Scurll. Like, everyone within the wrestling community knowing that they're just biding their time. Why are you going to put any belt on him? But you at the same time have to elevate him to a main feud because he's Marty Scurll. So
he's so over. Like, people, it would be like when WWE tried to have EC3 like beat Dean Ambrose in a couple minutes if they started doing the same thing to Scurll.
Yep.
Like, it's one of your top guys in the company. You don't have to like give him a world title because you know he's leaving. But you can't treat him like shit because people know he's leaving.
They're still the 6-man champs, right? I think so.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have the 6-man champs with them. You got the women's title on Kelly Klein.
Did she get it back?
Yeah, I think. Did she lose it?
She lost it to not Sumi Sakai, but I can't. God, I can't.
Oh, she did. She that's the one she got back when the Allure debuted that night after she won it. I believe was that it. Supercard, I think.
Maybe she... Oh, yeah, she did win that night. You're right.
She has that. Taven has the championship belt. But that's a weird situation because I know, I like Matt Taven. You know, he's okay, but let's be honest. Are you going to see him go to New Japan and like have a program with Okada or Tanahashi? It's weird.
I think there's something that New Japan, like the people in New Japan, have against Matt Taven, because we've seen we've seen Cody go to New Japan and defend the title. Jay Lethal and Adam Cole have both defended the Ring of Honor World Title at freaking their biggest show of the year. Like, and that was nothing. It was just a thing they did because they're partnered up. But I don't think we'll ever see Matt Taven do that.
And it's not looking like it. There hasn't really been any indication.
But they do. They go over there as the Kingdom, and they wrestle like 6-man matches. Well, I guess that's for War of the Worlds. Okay. Like they pretty much have to, because that's technically both brands. But I don't know, man. I do know that Matt Taven is getting a lot of hate right now. I think maybe his character's getting a little bit bland. He's
a little bit played out.
He's still doing the Kingdom conspiracy thing.
I know. I keep just seeing, cool gimmick. He says his name. Cool. That's a cool gimmick, And I mean, I get it. Everything gets a little bit played out after a minute. But do we think then, what do we think is the next, if you buy into these people are tired of Ring of Honor, or Juice specifically is tired of Ring of Honor, because I think his name carries a lot of weight with New Japan. He arguably is their top babyface, or within the at least top 3. So, what do we think that leads to the working relationship with them? I know what I want.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think if they
need a new American partner.
Yeah. How about one that has a primetime television slot instead of?
Wish there was one of those.
The middle of the night and on a fucking
Saturdays
Saturday.
at 10:30.
Yeah.
Catch them on the. We used to go karaoke at Nobody's, and that would be where Ring of Honor. Like, Ring of Honor's on that TV in the corner.
Yeah. The first time I saw the Young Bucks, I was at one of the bars up on the square, and I thought the first time I saw them, they were just doing a bunch of Hardy Boys spots. I was like, why are they just ripping off the Hardy Boys constantly? Like, who the hell are these guys? Little did I know, 5 years later, they'd be the biggest tag team in the fucking world.
Absolutely.
But it was funny to see at the time. It really was. And I'm going to probably go against what y'all are saying about New Japan and getting a new American partnership, because I definitely see where y'all are going. I want to see him partner again with Impact and see him run with that. I think AEW's got enough juice as it is.
I think Impact is already they already have a Japanese partner right now, right? I think they're partnering with
not New Japan.
This is the part where there's supposed to be research done, but
yeah.
They're, yeah.
I didn't think we'd be talking about Impact, so into it.
Well, I mean,
I'd rather watch Impact than Ring of Honor at this point.
I would agree. I
agree. I agree with
I would agree with that. I would also agree with what he said. I mean, I definitely think AEW they don't need New Japan at all, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it just makes so much sense in so many ways. It's almost too easy though.
Yeah.
And you have so many, you got the whole Coda situation. Of course, you've got Okada who worked All In, and I don't know, man. It could be great, but I think the big deciding factor is still the AAA and CMLL. Apparently, that's they don't want to share the same real estate, so.
Dang, that's weird. I think it would be amazing to get to see
oh my gosh,
the Lucha Bros versus fucking Evil and Sonata.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Jesus, absolutely. Dude. Just take my money. I'll change my direct deposit info. You can have the paycheck. You just tell me where to be.
Yeah.
I think one thing too that's good that kind of works in that favor, working with that AEW type rumor, is that we know that NJPW airs on Access TV, in the U.S., which is owned by Mark Cuban, who is the owner of a sports team, and knows, he kind of knows the con territory, so to speak, so he can. I guess if you try to speak to that, that's what you're hoping happens, is that Cuban with wanting to move it and NJPW with wanting to westernize the product, they see that and they're like, oh, well, this is the opportunity. You can either take it or they can try to do it on their own.
Yeah.
But, You try to do it on your own, it's going to be tougher, you know?
I don't think New Japan is going to be able to get an American product on their own simply because of, like, we're going through a period of, like, hate right now. I don't know if you guys knew that.
In America?
About America.
What?
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't seem right.
I just don't see
Are you
people giving it the
saying-
time of day
are you
because
saying-
it is Japanese wrestling.
Are you saying, though, that the Japanese planes can't fly over walls?
Man, I just don't think they're going to let it happen, man. Plus with, like...
I think that New Japan's best attempt at westernizing went away the second that everybody jumped ship and went and started AEW.
I kind of feel like that.
And
too.
I think that ship sailed because they were so cautious about it to begin with.
Yeah.
I think if New Japan were to have gone all in, ha ha ha, with westernizing, we wouldn't have an AEW today.
Yeah, well, not only that, but, you know, the Bucks have stated that the only reason they even started AEW is because they tried to get Ring of Honor and New Japan to sign contracts saying they can work with both.
Yeah.
And have both of them, like, pay them. Mm-hmm. And they were like, if they had just done what we wanted, we would have stayed. He's like, but New Japan never saw the value in us.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor apparently treated them like kings because, I mean, they're pulling in so much fucking money. But New Japan was just like, yeah, we have other tag teams, which... They're right, but they don't have other tag teams like selling out T-shirts and shit in the United States, like
at Hot
the Young
Topics.
Bucks.
Yep.
Yeah, in actual stores. This isn't ProWrestlingTees.com shit. This is I can go down the street and buy like 6 T-shirts at once.
I think one thing too, though, it's kind of interesting is still to think of the fact that, I mean, we've got these Los Ingobernables T-shirts at Hot Topic and stuff still, so it's a weird kind of area.
But it's just because they haven't sold out. Like it's the same shirt.
Yeah,
it's the same shirt I bought for fucking.
This is true. Yeah.
When did we watch Wrestle Kingdom together? That was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was last, not this previous January, but the last before that, January 2018.
Yeah, so
that's when I started watching New Japan.
So I've had that shirt since then, and they still have it in the Hot Topic. Like it's the same freaking shirt.
I mean, if you're a wrestling fan and you watch the Cody versus Ibushi match and you don't lose your mind, then you can stop watching wrestling. Like there.
Yeah, you're good. You clearly don't like wrestling, regardless of what you think.
Yeah.
You may like soap operas, and if so, I still wouldn't recommend WWE because they can't even keep up with their storylines, let alone put on good matches to go with it.
Because I remember when you had Cody do the crossroads off the apron on Ibushi, and me and Chase we lost our minds.
Dude,
we were like,
the spot where Brandy tricks him.
Oh my god!
And they're carrying her out, just for her, like them to double cross him, dude. It was the whole match was just so wonderfully done. Fuck, man. New Japan work with AEW. Come on. Just so we can get a Cody Ibushi too, like. Give me what I want.
It doesn't hype me up, man. That doesn't get the juices flowing.
All right, dude. Well, what about fucking
Baron Corbin in the main event?
Paige versus Okada.
Oh,
yeah, that'd be pretty hype.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. All right, welcome to the conversation.
Here's the thing, though. Paige was working with New Japan. What were they doing with him there?
Nothing. But that's because Ring of Honor wasn't doing anything with him. He's a Ring of Honor star. You got to think they did have other wrestlers wrestle against Okada.
Yeah.
Just not Paige. That's on Ring of Honor. I think Paige probably left for the same reason the Bucks left. Like,
well, to that point though, that I would kind of make is that Cody only had one match with Okada as well. He had the match in San Francisco, I think it was, where he.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. They're kind of protecting Okada, of course, but
as well it should.
You put Okada in any match, you've got
a great match. Yeah, he wrestled Marty Scurll at All In, and
gosh.
no one was like, Marty Scurll can win. But it was still amazing.
It was like a 41-minute match.
It's really good.
It was amazing.
Dude, when he did the Rainmaker with the umbrella, I was like, yes. Again, still know he's not going to win. This is Marty Scurll versus Okada.
Yeah.
But such a great match, regardless of the known outcome.
It had that moment, like, there were enough hope spots in it, too, where you were like, wait a second, can he actually win?
So what...
I legit thought that Skrull could have won there for a couple minutes.
There were definitely moments where it was like, oh shit, are they? Like, are they gonna?
Are they actually pulling the trigger on this? This is crazy.
Especially with the umbrella, because like, oh, he cheated to win. Cool.
Yeah.
Like,
still protected.
Yeah.
So what do you think? One I guess final thought on that. What do you think about like the AEW people currently, like Kenny and Jericho and whoever working with New Japan? I mean, is that something that excites you? Do you get hyped for stuff like that, or is it kind of like at this point you've seen it all?
I like the idea of Moxley in the G1. Past that, I kind of couldn't care less.
Just kind of like it's something we've seen.
Yeah, at this point,
I can see that.
It's not a knock against anybody, but it's kind of just recycling at this point.
Yeah. I will say once the TV launches in October for AEW, I don't think we're going to see Moxley over there at all. I don't think we're going to get any more Jericho showing up. I think at least for the first year or two, they really have to focus on their own TV and not go out and be hype men for other people's programs.
Yep.
I agree.
Agreed.
Otherwise, it's sort of like, hey, don't worry about watching us on this cable television. You can catch us for $10 a month on New Japan.
Yeah.
Yep.
But all right, moving down the list here, and kind of to segue, with all that potential, because even if you don't like it, there is still the potential for that partnership to happen.
Right.
If New Japan people really are sick of working with Ring of Honor and the fucking Bully Ray's bullshit and all the other bookings going on there, do you think that gives even more truth to the rumor that WWE is losing their internally losing their fucking minds over AEW? Because they've done a lot to say Batista just recently did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he was like, I don't think that AEW is legitimate competition. Now they are competition, I think that's healthy, but they can't compete at the same level.
Well, they can't. They don't have the brand recognition yet. They don't have the advertiser money, which is different than having the con money.
But I think that could all change though.
It can, but it's over 10 years it'll change. It's not something that's going to happen in the next 3.
I think that's a good point, because that's what I was thinking is when you say compete, you have to specify what exactly you mean. Are you meaning compete at present, immediately make an impact, cut into that, or I mean, because WWE has billions of dollars and they've got a back catalog, so it's dumb to say that anybody can compete with, the legacy that is WWE. But I think it would be naive not to see that, at least present day, that AEW will compete with WWE, for at least for some viewers.
And I gotta be totally honest, I think when you say that it can't happen in the next 2 or 3 years, I think that's kind of short-sighted, because people also thought WCW was in competition, and within a year or two, they started signing all these big names from WWE, because even though they weren't a big wrestling promotion, they had tons of money backing them. And in ways, Tony Khan is the new Ted Turner.
Yeah.
He has the money. If he decides, hey, this is a risk I'm worth taking, all he's got to do is whip out that checkbook.
So, looking back at history, though, WCW did compete in the short term, but disappeared in 4 years, 5 years?
That's
that's
all from contract stuff, though. That doesn't
Well, I mean, you're front loading your success, though, is what that was. You're front loading your contracts, you're front loading your storylines, your star power, things like that.
I think we can
no
sum up
term.
the death of WWE with the death of WCW with just guaranteed title wins.
Yeah.
That fucks up your long-term booking in every way, because you have to make sure that your Hulk Hogan gets the title 3 times a year. Kevin Nash is guaranteed to get it at least once. Scott Hall has to get it at least once within a 3-year period. You can't make any real booking plans, because everybody has to get the shit that's guaranteed, or you lose them, or they sue you. I think that we are not going to see history repeat itself in that fashion. But when we're talking strictly money to get some of these top tier people, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'm still not fully convinced CM Punk's not coming back, but that's a really little thing.
I think that it's important too to note that when WCW had been a company for 30, 40 years before they, but at the time, and either one of you correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't have a template or something to, they're competing with WWE or WWF at the time, but AEW right now has the benefit of being able to say, we saw what WCW did. You
Yeah.
know, like we know this trajectory. We know WWE. We know this business model, that business model. We know what to do and what not to do. Not only that, but they have started. AEW started building their foundation with people that have been in both organizations, with Jerry Lynn and Diamond Dallas Page, and
Yep.
you know, so at least on paper, you would think that it's set up for success, but it remains to be seen. As we always say, what happens when the first thing that's booked that we don't like or that the fans don't like? You know, what happens when there's, because only one person can have the heavyweight title. You
Yeah.
know, not everybody's gonna like it if they put it on Page or if they put it on Jericho. So
I think that we are probably going to get a lot of kickback from fickle fans the first time they do book that whatever program it is that people aren't fond of. But the biggest thing that I would say to that is just remember, like, the Attitude Era is like the most fondly remembered time in wrestling, and like, let's be honest, there's some real bad shit on that show.
Yeah.
Like the circus freaks, they would come out and like
the oddities.
the oddities. There you go. Yeah,
would
like just
argue-
weird shit like that doesn't really do anything.
I would argue that from a pure wrestling and storytelling standpoint, that was one of the worst times in wrestling. You just had big stars to carry through it. Like the
I think
They
biggest
had to
stars of
become
all
stars
time.
somehow, man.
I think if you look
No,
at
it was on the beginning of it.
There's
I didn't really like once
There's
the
some good
Attitude
wrestling
era,
there, man.
era fully hit. Yeah, it was great wrestling, but like the storylines, even around Rock and
I did
Stone
for the
Cold,
Rock.
and like a lot of them were terrible. And if anyone else was involved, it would have crashed and burned. But they were just so good that it carried through. From a pure storytelling standpoint, it was train wreck storytelling, and it failed for a lot more people than it worked for.
So, here's my defense for AEW. I don't necessarily think that AEW on its own could be able to compete in the time frame that you were talking about, but I think that WWE itself, like, they have this loaded gun, and for some reason they just keep pointing it at their own foot and pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
And you talk about how they have all the sponsors and the backing, they've got all the partnerships. Those partnerships work because people watch their show.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, the ratings are going to get low enough to where Snickers is going to be like, hey, I'm out. You know, Mars as a whole is going to be like, hey, we got to go. Eventually, if people aren't watching, Susan G. Komen is going to be like, hey, there's no reason to do this partnership. Nobody watches your show.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they are very much thinking, oh, you know, the ratings aren't important because people don't really watch TV anymore. But you're not going to get people to pay you for advertising space if nobody's watching your show. You're also going to get, you know, the USA Network, Fox. What if these ratings keep dropping by the time it gets to October?
Yeah.
I'm sure Fox has some kind of way to be like, hey, we're pulling the plug. We don't need this.
I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what WWE does when they get to the Fox deal, like when it actually goes live, because they've already stated like they want pretty much what we're seeing with AEW.
Yeah.
They've said they wanted it to be more sports centric. They want it to be more gritty. They want it to be not necessarily more PG-13, but at least a little more grown up.
A little edgier.
Yeah, they want to hit. They want to hit an older demographic than what they're trying to hit with the regular product.
Do you know what the age of the demographic is?
For Fox?
Yeah, because you said they're trying to hit an older demographic. Like,
I would assume. Well, AEW always speaks to the disenchanted, fan. So
I think that Fox will probably be aiming for that 18 to 25 crowd. Probably AEW is going to be more for the 25 to 40 crowd.
I think one thing that's interesting is are there instances where a wrestling company has had two shows on two different networks?
yeah,
Mhm. I mean,
WWE was doing that for a long time.
Were they?
SmackDown was on UPN.
Yep.
It started on Thursdays, and then but SmackDown has been on while USA has had Raw.
That's right.
SmackDown has been on Sci-Fi. It's been on UPN. It's
Okay.
been on a bunch of different networks.
That's right. 'Cause
and even Raw was on TNN for a little while and Spike.
Yep.
I think something that'll be interesting then is that's right. I forgot that SmackDown started on UPN.
Yeah.
Well, what a network.
What's that?
So I think it'll be interesting then, and I haven't really heard anybody talk about this then, to see how USA and Fox kind of You know, you're within the same product, and you may have different expectations for what you want to see. And yeah, they're going to be separate brands, separate rosters, but you have the wild card rule. You got to think about storyline continuation between two major networks that may want different things for your product.
So while we're talking about rumors, rumor is that the whole reason they did the wild card, and the whole reason they did like the 24/7 title, these are all requests from the network. Like USA and Fox both want the best of WWE on their show, and the wild card rule was sort of the way to do that. But then we're really like, the wild card rule has inadvertently become like, we're not just doing crossovers because it's always the same people, and it's always like Roman Reigns and this like mid-card nonsense that consists of like the Revival now, which unfortunately they got pulled in, and Drew McIntyre and fucking Baron Corbin.
Oddly enough, the only wild card you don't see is, unless I'm mistaken, Seth Rollins to SmackDown. Is that not kind of?
I could definitely see that. I'm surprised he didn't go when they did the shuffle, honestly.
He hasn't been to SmackDown, I don't think, since the wild card rule, the 4-person limit, which is actually whatever we want to put for that night limit.
Yeah, I actually, like, people on Twitter keep track of it, and I think this past SmackDown there was like 9 people that crossed over. It was something ridiculous, way above what they actually allowed.
What about R-Truth being one of the more entertaining parts of Raw, though?
I mean, he's always been an entertainer.
But with that 24/7 title, that was like the role made for him.
I agree. And I think it's a good spot for Jinder, too. Like, I wish they would give more television time. Like, do something to where there's not so many people around. Just focus on R-Truth and Jinder. And I think that could be a really good story told. And it's a way to push Jinder back up the card without being like, hey, he's just WWE champion now. He's going to feud with Randy Orton for 6 months.
Yeah. I want to see a 24/7 spot where somebody is at their house. You got the 24/7 title. Someone starts trying to break in. They got a gun. You know, they're doing the Brian Pillman. Like, you think that could work in this day and age?
I want to see someone.
I really want to keep this 24/7 title.
I want to see someone with the title come out of a bathroom stall and get RKO'd out of nowhere and just lose it to Randy fucking Orton.
Surprised that he doesn't.
I wouldn't hate that, to be totally honest, dude. That would be very funny.
Like he's washing his hands and he turns around and is getting paper towels and just gets RKO'd.
Or they just, like, while the champion is, like, peeing at a urinal, you just club him from behind and fucking pin him right there in the bathroom. Like, let's
hit him with a zigzag.
Dude, let's get creative here. This is totally off topic, but I ain't mad, dude, because this is a great conversation.
No, the 24/7 stuff has probably been some of the best stuff that they've had.
Dude, that and Firefly Funhouse are the only things that are worth watching on these shows.
Firefly Funhouse.
Dude, even fucking, like...
Last couple I've been upset with, but I won't talk about that.
Yeah. So, speaking of Firefly Funhouse, segue. Dude.
Oh, such a good segue.
Good
random. So, the next rumor we're talking about is Bray Wyatt possibly debuting tonight on Raw. I'll be honest, dude. If I'm watching Twitter and Twitter says Bray Wyatt debuts, I'm probably gonna turn it on.
I'm probably gonna have it on. I usually I'm really into inflicting pain on myself, so I usually put Raw on, at least in the background, and it's to the point where even my wife, she'll come in and she'll be like, why are you?
Yeah, why are you watching this?
It's not that she doesn't like wrestling. She knows I like wrestling. She'll doesn't really care about AEW, but if Raw is on the TV, she's like, why? Like, why is this happening? And I'm like, I like to torture myself.
Yeah, because she knows enough. Like, you've talked to her about it enough.
Yeah, like I'll probably actually have it on tonight and anticipate his debut, and then quickly see it ruined. I mean, let's be honest, it'll be ruined.
So, just to fuel that rumor a little bit, if you guys remember, I think it was probably a month or so ago now, Bray Wyatt put out a tweet that said, "Let's play a game." Over the course of last year, I added an extra sentence to every promo, week after week, and those extra sentences are sort of their own thing when you pull them out and put them in order. And nobody got it, so he was like, "Okay, so nobody's got it correct, so I'm just going to give you the answers, but I'm not going to tell you what they are." So he gave a list of the answers, and someone said, "Oh, I get it. Those are the names of the episodes of Firefly Funhouse." And he was like, "Yeah, you got it." So, given that,
Mm-hmm.
he just did the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Going according... Now, unless they decide to just do more, which is a very, like, Vince McMahon WWE 2019 thing to do. Hey, so you know those Firefly Funhouse episodes you did? Those are working really well, and I really, like... Even though you've gotten in shape, I think you're disgusting. So if you could just do me a favor and keep doing these fucking episodes where I'm the devil instead. Schmickman is the devil. That would be really great. We're going to record like 13 more, and we're going to keep you off TV probably forever.
Do you think? Were you saying about the writers, that being their outlet?
Yeah.
Do you buy into that? That's a tasty rumor.
Yeah, that is a really good rumor. Honestly, with all of the like unrest and stuff that's coming out in Twitter, you know, you have these people who have like full on like tons of sources within the backstage. You got Meltzer and Brian Alvarez both. Yeah. You've got WrestleVotes. I want to say Sean Ross Sapp also posted something about it. But there are people who are well known in the wrestling community for having good tips, who, you know, are talking about the unrest there. So is it really so crazy to think that these people are just pissed and tired of Vince McMahon changing the fucking script last minute? And not only that, but there are rumors that the past couple of Raws, the script wasn't done until after the show went on air. And that's some, like, dying WCW shit.
Yeah.
So if you're asking me if I think it's true, I actually do, yeah. It's one of the only rumors on this list I think can actually be true.
Well, supposedly, though, this is the most creative freedom that Bray has had in forever.
Well, yeah, because he's not on TV yet.
They're even though the writers are involved, it's mostly him in the driver's seat. He's got, like, final say on everything.
Well, so I think he's had that for a while, and the reason being, in my opinion, is I think Vince has a hard-on for the occult.
Right.
Any of this weird, like...
Ministry Undertaker.
Yeah, any of this ghost, like, dead people, like, skeletons,
Sister
cult
Abigail.
leader shit, yeah. I think Vince is super fucking into it. It would not surprise me at all if, like, in his free time, he just listened to, like, weird podcasts about scary stories, and he just, like, fucking jerked off to it.
This is such good shit.
Yeah, this is good shit.
Listens to that fucking interview tape that they play on Science Fiction from Brand New.
Yeah.
Like, just about LSD
got, like,
trips constantly.
What is it? You play Chicago backwards?
Yeah.
Little Nicky
fucking
shout out
playing
there.
Ozzy Osbourne backwards, and
Yeah.
you can hear him say he, like, worships the devil or some shit. But I very much think that Vince McMahon is a fan of Bray Wyatt's character and who he is, like, creatively. I just think that that Vince McMahon, and again, we got a jab at this, which means there has to be some truth to the rumor. But I think Vince McMahon finds Bray Wyatt very gross, like, as far as his body shape. Even though he's in great fucking shape now. He's not thin with big fucking muscles. He's not what Triple H looked like. He's not Shawn Michaels. There are also rumors, you know, back in the day that, like, Vince is, like, a closeted homosexual.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give any like oh, he's clearly gay, but I think there may be, like, if it's not like a homosexuality thing, he's definitely, like, infatuated with the male.
Dude, that's a spicy hot take.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
He
The
has
whole
an
episode.
infatuation with muscular men. That's why he started the weightlifting league. He's real big into football. Like, he has an affinity for these bodybuilder type dudes.
Yes.
So Bray Wyatt doesn't fit that mold.
Yeah. I mean, even... Dude, he looks like a tank with legs, though. Like, jeez, I would not want to see him in a back alley.
In clothing, though.
Yeah.
I think, it's the same reason that they forced Baron Corbin to wrestle in a fucking, like, suit. It's the same reason that even though Roman Reigns is their top guy, Roman Reigns wrestles in a chest plate, because Roman Reigns underneath is not looking too great. Like, he's got that Samoan body.
Kevin Owens.
He's looking a little bit like
it's
Rikishi.
hard to look flattering in a friggin' sweater, and Bray Wyatt looks menacing in one.
I mean, I agree. But I don't know, dude. I kind of like the almost Freddy Krueger-esque sweaters.
Yeah,
I'm not asking
absolutely.
him to wrestle in it because fuck, that'd be hard. But
Oh,
if he gets like a tank top version of that, let's
So-
do it.
So,
I'm excited to see what he does tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm hoping that he is live, and I've got this weird thing playing out in my head, where, like, I only want to see him on camera as the good guy, like the nice Mr. Rogers type character. like some foul shit
You talking
can
about when
happen.
he's doing promos and stuff?
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
can have some insanely crazy evil shit happen backstage when he's not on camera. But anytime he goes out to the ring, smiles and laughs.
Do you have him smile, laugh, cut a promo on the way down to the ring, and wrestle as the
No,
evil? Because
I
that
don't-
would be. I think that'd be pretty.
I think we can probably
I
do a
think
ring
you can
switch
see-
kind of thing. Where
Yeah, I
he's,
think you can see moments of it.
Yeah. I think
That'd be cool.
the mask is definitely going to come to play, and I think we're going to have a lot of light flickers because WWE loves that shit. Where it comes on and he's got the mask on, and all of a sudden, he's just fucking like. It's
What if-
basically his version of hulking up now. Like when he gets beat down
What
and
if we get
bad.
a, what
I
if we
would
get a
not be mad
hologram
at that.
mask though? What's up?
A hologram mask?
Yeah.
Can they do that? Is that a
I
thing?
mean, it's Bray Wyatt, so
Like,
You're right,
like,
you're
like
right.
the
The
projector
graphic-
up top.
Cockroaches on the fucking floor of the ring.
That's super like off topic, but like apparently, I mean, and it makes sense that the people sitting ringside had no fucking idea what was happening because they couldn't see the
At
fucking
WrestleMania?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, what's happening?
Yeah,
But I guess the Jumbotron.
So we didn't do this for the other ones, but this one specifically, I'm gonna ask, like, do you think there's truth in it? Is he debuting tonight? And is Firefly Funhouse a way for frustrated writers to vent about how awful Vince McMahon is?
And what about as well? Who may he be debuting against? Or
Honestly, he's so good, I don't care. Like, I just show up, and I will watch. I want to see him.
I want to say at the very least he's live in person tonight. The Firefly Funhouse, I could definitely see. Part of me wants to say, yeah, I could see it sneaking him by Vince, but having listened to some of the podcasts with Moxley and Dustin Rhodes and hearing to the amount of scrutiny that Vince puts on the scripts, maybe that could be the case, but I definitely think I want Bray to debut against Aleister Black. Start a nice little program with those guys because Aleister Black's just sitting in a dark room right now. So
Yeah, so that would be really cool, man. But I'm just worried, I'm worried that becomes a 50-50 booking situation.
I don't want them to.
They
It's
become-
WWE.
they become-
It's gonna be.
They
50-50
become
booking.
Cesaro and fucking
Ricochet.
at that point. Like,
Well, they're gonna be a tag team.
oh my god, you're right. That's the
No!
bad. That's the bad.
Yeah, that's
picture.
why I laughed. It was
Exactly.
like, what? I paused for a second, like, what? And then, oh, fuck, he's correct.
Hey, real talk though, the bar was
Damn it.
really good there for a short time.
They were, man. But
That's kinda
I don't want to give up
outward
hope on the bar.
Yeah, no,
I know
agree.
Sheamus is taking time off right now, but I don't want
Dude,
to
he's
see
done.
them become a tag team because then, like,
This stuff's pretty scary. Yeah.
I mean,
But-
he's on like edge a little bad neck.
but they're saying that he's still, like, he's not done. He's coming back. And again, that's his call. I'm not agreeing
Yeah.
with it. I'm just saying that's.
This is the part where we say we have no factual evidence of anything, but we're gonna speak in complete, like
We're
we
gonna
like we
speak
know,
like we know it all.
like with
Guys,
a Meltzer,
hold on a
Meltzer level.
I'm just gonna call Sheamus.
You're right. Like
Jesus.
in the off chance Sheamus peruses this video and says, "What the fuck are these guys talking about?"
Please don't, Sheamus. Don't do it. Don't come back.
And also, I didn't really wish leukemia on Roman Reigns for the record, so I'm putting that out
Yes,
there.
you did.
I think I may
Oh
have
my God.
I think I may have wished death on Vince McMahon, but I think that one's like okay now. 'Cause
Oh, dude,
everybody knows
definitely.
that.
Yeah, we literally have a Discord. Like, we have a channel in our Discords. Is Vince dead yet? And we keep updating it. It's just a bunch of no's, unfortunately. But one day it's going to be a yes.
We just pulled you.
Yeah. So on to the next one. The rumor that WWE is going to shake up the Stomping Grounds card tonight because tonight's their last chance.
Shake it up.
Well, tonight and tomorrow night are the last chances before the actual pay-per-view because it's Sunday.
Let's play. Let's play a game. It's called Who the Fuck Cares. Raise your hand if you care.
That's a good game. Yeah.
No, I don't.
There's not a
I
match.
mean-
There's not a match on the card that I am remotely interested in. You have a 5-way match right tonight on Raw, I think, to determine who's facing Samoa Joe
For the United States title?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't.
So, I've got the card here, and I'm glad you brought that up because my first complaint is we have 2 championship matches
TV
versus TBA 6 days out. Not great. Can't build a feud with that. You know what that means when it comes down to pay-per-view? Those matches don't fucking matter.
Why would I buy tickets to something that I don't know who's gonna be there?
At the same time, though, WWE has been falsely advertising wrestlers all year. They advertised John Cena for the Royal Rumble, knowing he wasn't going to be there. They advertised him up until the pre-show, saying, "Oh, John Cena unfortunately can't make it."
Yeah.
They did. I want to say they advertised Brock Lesnar for something as well. They advertised Brock Lesnar like that he was going to cash in.
Yeah.
On an episode of Monday Night Raw recently.
Yeah.
And then at the Super Showdown.
Yeah. And then a Super Showdown, and yeah. So
cool. what's the card? What's the card looking like?
So
let's read off these.
We'll go through it real quick, but I do want to go over like just some factual things first. We have we have 2 rematches from WrestleMania on this card. We have 2 rematches from Super Showdown.
Which was a WrestleMania level pay-per-view.
Rematch City.
Supposedly. But we're going to go through the card. Samoa Joe versus TBA. TBA is probably not going to win. You don't give someone 6 days worth of not build up, because they're going to win, and then there may be a stare down with Samoa Joe, and that's pretty much that until the actual match happens. With no story, a title change is unfucking interesting.
But shout out to Samoa Joe. Did y'all see his tweet on Father's Day? He's talking about all the well wishes he got from all the people he had sunned over the years.
Damn.
Just Samoa Joe is.
He's great.
He's
I
brutal,
love
man.
Samoa Joe.
He can cut a promo like.
Definitely.
I will say the only way, and completely disagree with me, but the only way I could see maybe somebody feels like a very WWE thing to do to have Ricochet go over and put the U.S. title on Ricochet because of the fact that they're like, yeah, you got a belt on it. It's like it's the U.S. title, like it means
nothing.
It means nothing. You know, like so that he can trade it back and forth with Cesaro 6 times. You know, like
I like seeing Joe with the belt. Joe acts like the belt matters.
Yeah, and he's dominant as fuck.
Yeah,
so
I would love to just see him hold on to it for 8 months, 12 months.
He needs to
just hold on to the damn thing, make it have some value,
and just kill people.
Yeah,
just fucking annihilate your opponents.
Absolutely,
and then have somebody come up just short, get a rematch, and then fucking beat him. So if they want to do it with Ricochet, I definitely don't want it to be a 6-day feud that he wins it off of.
Yeah, I don't want it to be within the next few months even.
But just to run this card down real quick, and this isn't our prediction show, we're just going over how fucking awful this card is to fuel fire that they're going to shake it up. Prediction show to come. The 5 people who are going to be wrestling to see who faces Samoa Joe: Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Cesaro, Ricochet, and The Miz. I think they're going to give this to fucking Braun Strowman or Bobby Lashley, and I think it's going to make it an instantly terrible match.
So, just throwing it out there, if we're doing a prediction show, does that also mean we're doing like a reaction show type deal?
Oh, definitely. But you know what?
So that means we have to watch it.
Yeah. It'll be Sunday night. We can all get together, hang out, grab some pizzas and stuff.
I'm down.
We'll do a bunch of things that are good with that shit show, and then we'll try to make the best of it.
Put Double or Nothing on in like the corner. And just be like,
just PIP and just. Oh look! It's the newest. It's G1 Supercard. Yeah, we're just like watching fucking Will Ospreay do flips and shit in the corner.
Man, how dope would it be if he won G1 Climax?
That would be fucking ridiculous because he's the champ now, right? He's their junior champion because he beat Dragon Lee.
I think.
Yeah.
So for him, like,
that's right.
I think it's very unlikely that he'll win, but it would be very fucking cool because then we get fucking Ospreay and Okada.
Oh gosh.
It's a matter of time.
Sign me up. I'll fly to Japan. I'll quit my job and we'll just go to Japan.
Yeah, I'm gonna reactivate my New Japan subscription. That reminds me.
Dude, we need to just throw it on the fucking the old Smart Week account and just have it there.
Absolutely. Cool. So we got to analyze this without getting too level.
I don't want to get too hung up on it. I just felt like the 5-man match throws in how shitty it's gonna be. Like
he's just gonna list them off so we can be sad.
What do you
rest of this video?
What do you think could be shaken up with this?
We'll
announce who's actually wrestling.
I think they might do like a 6-pack challenge. I think Samoa Joe might come out and just fuck these people up, and then they do a 6-man match for the title. It's still not terribly interesting because it's short term, but at least it's something that's not just like they have a lot of 1v1s on this card, and none of them have special stipulations or any like real build. I mean, I
It's a
guess
house show.
Lacey and the rematches have build, but it's the same build from the first match.
And then you got Corbin announcing his referee tonight as well.
Yay! Cool. I bet it's Shane McMahon.
Good shit.
And that's going to be our next rumor. So the next match is Tony Nese versus TBA. So this one I'm not so upset about because
Tony
I guess
Nese is amazing.
well, on 205 they did a number one
Hercules?
contenders match, and two people pinned somebody at once.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they're going to do a triple threat with them.
It probably will.
It's
Cool.
Arya Daivari and not Arya Daivari. Is it Arya?
I can't remember who it was.
It is.
I know I wasn't mad at hearing him though.
It's Arya Daivari and somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but I think a 3-way for the cruiserweight title. Hopefully it's not on a fucking pre-show.
Yeah,
Put it on the actual card.
205 Live is one of the few things worth watching in WWE now.
Yeah, it's fucking great because all these people are like, hey, I'm going to work hard so you put me off of 205 Live. Only to become fucking Buddy Murphy and not debut at all since the fucking draft. Anyway.
And Cedric Alexander, for that matter. Did you see his tweet?
Yeah.
I promise
he's
I
like,
can still wrestle, guys.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's amazing.
Next match is a WrestleMania rematch. Match that wasn't good at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
Woo!
Yeah, super cool there. So Roman Reigns to definitely win that, right? Like, almost definitely.
Hey, we don't make predictions on this show.
Whatever. It's
What
not
is
a
this,
prediction.
a
Like,
prediction
it's
show?
a threat. Like, jeez.
Good shit.
I will say this next match is probably the only one I'm looking forward to on this card. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. I think it'll be fucking great.
I'm just glad that she's... I'm glad Alexa Bliss is back. Like,
Yeah, I'm glad she's
been
cleared for all the concussion
she's,
shit.
she's one of my favorite WWE.
She's incredible, man.
personalities,
Like,
so.
and her matches are always solid, you know. So
Yeah.
that's been a big part of what's been missing. I feel like from the women's division is her presence. You know, 'cause she's been relegated to doing the what's it called, the moment of bliss.
Yeah, well, I think that's to cover up the, like, keep her on TV because she is so popular.
Yeah.
To cover up all the concussion stuff because there have been, like, talks of her, like, having, you know, a couple of concussions in succession.
Yeah.
You know, same reason, and this was all the way back to Evolution. It's the reason she supposedly didn't have a singles match on the Evolution pay-per-view. But hopefully she's good to go now. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. I think Bayley is a safe person to work with and also very good. And now that she's the champion, I kind of hope that we see Bayley retain just because she just got it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if they were to give it to Bliss and just have Bayley go after it, wouldn't hate that either. I think that's a good shout.
I think that's a better story for Bliss or for Bayley.
I agree.
She's a chaser. She's not a holder.
She's good at chase, but I also I want her title reign to mean something.
Yeah.
Give me Bayley and Hell in a Cell.
Dude,
Yeah, she was in Elimination Chamber.
Give me Bayley in a bunch of fucking tables matches where she's just Bayley to bellying people through tables.
I'd watch that.
Dude,
cool.
yeah, I would love that shit. Make her like the female Bray Wyatt, where she's all smiley and shit, but she's just putting motherfuckers through tables with suplexes.
That'd be cool. I'd be down.
Next one is
Kofi
and Dolph Ziggler rematch from some shit. Apparently,
Showdown,
Ziggler's
right?
trying to push for a steel cage match.
That might
It's probably going to
actually
happen.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't hate that. The only thing I don't like about Ziggler being in the match is the fact that he has no build to be here. Like, they were literally just...
Kevin Owens wouldn't go to Showdown.
Yeah, Kevin Owens was like, hey, because, you know, he's best friends with fucking Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Sami Zayn can't go there because he would essentially be a target.
How fucked up? I mean, oh my gosh, how fucked up is that? Like, why would you want to work for that company anymore? I mean, granted, he doesn't have...
It's a lot
Why
of
would
money.
that company want to work with that country?
Blood money. It's money. Money is the answer to all those questions.
So Zayn, of course, couldn't see this coming when he signs his contract or whatever. But,
Yeah.
I mean, my God, at this point, is there anything to make you feel more unwanted than not being able to go
Well, I mean,
El Generico?
how silly does it look on a company that's constantly pushing women, and then go to a country where they can't even have their women on the show?
Are they pushing women, though? Because they just announced today there's no Evolution pay-per-view for this year. They have no plans for another all-women pay-per-view.
They're acting like it. That
Oh,
kind
you're
of
right,
confirms
you're right.
the other.
They're
the other
definitely
side of it.
acting like it. That's correct. That's accurate. They also recently, while we're talking about how they're trying to like look progressive, but actually they're not, they had Dana Warrior tweet out a picture of her wearing Ultimate Warrior's face paint.
That was bad.
About LGBTQ stuff, like Pride Month. And Ultimate Warrior is like one of the most well-known homophobes to ever
and
fucking
bigots.
exist. Yeah. He used to go and do
Big
like
yikes.
commencement speeches at graduation ceremonies at colleges
Big yikes.
and talk about how being queer ain't it. Like they
Big
shouldn't be
yikes.
able to do queer studies. Like he would throw around the word queer, and guys, I just want you to know, like, I don't like that fucking word, but that's literally what he would talk about. It's the only reason I'm saying it. But yeah, dude, so he's known to be a homophobe, and now all of a sudden they're trying to make Ultimate Warrior, because he's a colorful guy, like, be this symbol of pride. And dude, all the comments were just fucking brutal. They're like, no, fuck that guy and fuck you.
They were, yeah.
How insensitive can you be?
Barry,
Like-
this is Vince fucking McMahon. It's good shit.
He probably, yeah.
Oh my god.
So you saved the best for last.
Next on the card, we have Seth Rollins, the champ, versus the future champ, Baron Corbin.
Woo!
Good shit.
They're wrestling for, what is it, a $50 TGI Fridays gift card?
It might as well be. It's the fruit roll-up title. So here's how I see this going. I think that we are going to see Shane McMahon be the referee. I think we are going to get Baron Corbin as our new champion. And then I think Brock Lesnar is going to cash in and win the title, so that we have someone who could be champion, but then during Baron Corbin's stupid long fucking entrance where they talk about all his past achievements, they also get to throw in former Universal Champion in there.
Yeah, why does it feel like that he has so many... They're like, he's a former Golden Gloves fighter, a former Andre the Giant Memorial... Is there a less meaningful,
Yeah.
accomplishment than the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
Armbar?
Yeah. Honestly, like the Golden Glove thing is kind of cool. Like if they would go a little more on that and have him focus more on like the fact that he is like a rewarded boxer.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I think you could go somewhere with that and actually like push him a little bit. But
I honestly am gonna go out on a limb and say the problem with Baron Corbin isn't Baron Corbin, it's his booking.
he's just there all the time. He's
Yeah,
not a bad
like,
heel. He gets
I think
good
the
heat.
character that he has is great for him right now.
His entrance music, holy
His
fuck balls.
entrance theme is one of the best in
Yeah.
wrestling
Oh,
today.
absolutely.
But he's just there all the
And
time. Same thing with like Brock Lesnar. You
His
have to be there.
moveset's phenomenal.
He's getting
That's a
multiple
good point.
segments. Like
Good
we
I don't
don't
hate
need
Baron
that.
Corbin at all.
He's getting hated the same reason that Roman Reigns was getting hated, and it's
Yeah.
not because either of them are bad.
It's just-
There's
it's
too
X-Pac heat.
fucking much of it.
Just go away for a while.
I wouldn't even say X-Pac heat, because
Yeah,
X-Pac was just
that's
legitimately
kinda
a
hate.
great heel.
Yeah.
This is go away heat.
Yeah.
This is get off my fucking TV heat, and it's not good heat because it doesn't garner you any ratings.
No.
If someone has X-Pac heat, they want to watch you get your ass kicked.
That's
if you
true.
have go away heat, people just turn the TV off. And that's what we're seeing proof of. Like people are just turning
But
the
if
TV
they would
off.
just, every few weeks instead of every week, Baron, I think he'd be great.
I think even just short segments. Have
Yeah.
him do something dickish, come out and interfere, and then just fucking go away. But he is all over the place.
Yeah, because I think I threw this out there to you guys before, but statistically, End of Days is one of the most protected, like top 3 most protected finishes in all of wrestling.
I'll go even further. I think it's a great looking finish.
Oh, it's fantastic. You
It's
can
a-
do it on anybody, just about.
I mean, you can't really do it on like a big guy, but he's also like, he's not really wrestling any big guys.
No.
Has he ever hit it on
Um,
Strowman?
Yeah,
Has
pretty
he?
sure. I think
I've
so.
hit it on
Oh my-
Strowman. You're
Jesus,
pretty
I'm about to
good.
fucking YouTube this.
Don't quote me on that.
Because if video exists, I gotta see it, dude.
No, I mean,
Days on
I definitely think
Strowman.
Corbin's in an interesting situation where
I'll have to look later. I'll see
it seems a little.
Could be. I might be wrong. But it really is one of the.
I'm not
most
trying to call you
protected
out, dude.
finishes.
It would be so impressive to see, dude.
Yeah.
I think visually too. I think it's just such a. It's plain. It's just so plain. Like it's not even really the vest. I don't love the vest, but it's just like.
It's better than his fucking like Hot Topic pants and cut off T-shirt that he was wearing before.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
The belly button telling you a story through the match.
Yeah, I think that they haven't really figured
I've got
out
that. I
Baron
have that.
Corbin.
I can
Um,
speak on that because I haven't.
Um,
Just a deep B, I call it. Well, somebody got a fucking knife wound right in my
Jesus.
belly.
God damn it. What?
At least he cut his hair finally.
Yeah, dude, that
That
hairline
took
was
way
getting
too
awful.
long.
Holy shit.
It's
So
falling
again,
back like Dolph Ziggler.
I don't want to focus on that too much because we do have a predictions video coming out as well. Before our last rumor, apparently, and this is the reason that I think that Shane McMahon is going to be the referee. Apparently, they're building him up even more to go for a world title. The rumor is that Shane McMahon going into Fox, like when Fox picks up SmackDown, Shane McMahon is going to be the WWE champion.
Well, you know he's the best wrestler in the world, right?
Definitely, and they don't let you forget either. Like sometimes I do forget. I got really bad short-term memory. I'll just be sitting there and be like, "What was I talking about?" But luckily, WWE knows their audience and how much they hate hearing the same thing over and over, so they just do it. And we have never stopped hearing that he's the best in the world. He's also beaten multiple former world champions clean. He fucking beat Roman Reigns. He fucking beat The Miz. Like, good guy The Miz. And his dad, who is, like... that. Did you see that fighting stance, dude? How can you even buck up to that?
You can't.
I don't... That's another one. There's two people that I mentioned earlier. You know, I'll have it on TV, and my wife sees it, and, you know, it's... Brock Lesnar, first of all, and Shane McMahon. If Shane McMahon comes on the TV, it's just basically like, why is this happening she's like, are you watching the same episode over and over? I'm like, no, this is different. She's like, but it's not, though. And I'm like, well, you're right.
You're right, yeah. So your wife is actually now... If you want to invite her on the show, it sounds like she knows...
We could definitely do a Shane McMahon podcast. She's... And the whole, best in the world, you know, with the... I'm just like, oh, man. It just hurts.
Dude, yeah,
point.
it's fucking bad. And not only that, but his segments are getting longer. This past week, he had 30-minute segments on both Raw and SmackDown to open the shows. Do you remember how, like, frustrated people were getting with Shane's opening segments last year when Daniel Bryan was his co-GM?
Yeah.
People were like, hey, why does he have to open the show? Like, let's just do a fight segment or somebody come out and just start cutting a promo, but why does it have to be Shane McMahon? And now they're like, oh, no, we heard you. Yeah. You don't want him to come out and start the show with just a 5-minute segment.
Well, not, yeah.
Okay, we'll give you half an hour.
And it's not only that, but, like, visually, it's hard to watch. Like, within
he's
10
terrible.
by the time he gets down to the ring, he's blown up, and he's
Yeah.
sweating just ungodly amounts. Like, he's sweating
fuck,
more,
dude.
yeah. Like,
The only reason I even like seeing Shane McMahon is just to see what shoes he wears out. That's the only thing I care about. When
are
he
you a
comes
sneaker
out.
enthusiast?
I thoroughly enjoy shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's. I mean, he gives, you know, Enzo a run for his.
Dude, he has great
Am I allowed to
fucking
say that
sneakers.
on here?
Yeah.
He's got some pretty good ones.
We'll bleep that out.
Yeah, we'll just... They're like, are they swearing?
They're gonna watch
Kingston.
this.
Anytime we say Enzo or Big Cass, we'll just fucking bleep that
Kofi
shit.
Kingston has got some good ones most of the time.
His sneakers? Oh, definitely, dude. Not only that, but like,
Had some
I
matches
actually
on
kind of
them,
wanted the
too.
sneakers that they had released for them from Foot Locker.
Mm.
The New Day theme sneakers. I thought they looked pretty fucking cool.
I don't know if I could pull those off, but
I don't have anything that would match them,
Hey,
but I would get them and just
The
like
only
have
thing
them.
stopping you from pulling those off is confidence.
that's true.
Yeah, wear whatever the fuck you want, dude.
Wear 'em with a nice pair of khakis.
Those pink and bright blue shoes go perfect with this My Hero shirt you
Just
got
carry
on
around
right there.
pancakes. It's totally fine.
Yeah, then people know. Maybe a trombone.
Box of
Yeah,
burritos.
Francesca too.
Yeah,
Because the first Francesca.
got
Yeah.
destroyed. R.I.P. I don't want you guys to think we're insensitive because we wish cancer on Roman Reigns and we want Vince McMahon to die. We do care about Francesca, but still not fucking
And
Vince McMahon.
R.I.P. Francesca. And R.I.P. the TV and the Festival of Friendship.
Oh, definitely, dude. Jesus. That shit was about as bad as when fucking Jericho almost took out Shawn Michaels' eye by bashing his head into the TV before they did the... I think it was a ladder match for the title.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody was hurt and they had to like carry Raw for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. So Shane McMahon as champion. Do you guys see that with WWE's current storylines and product and general disarray? Do you see that becoming a truth?
They like making bad decisions. Fuck yes, I see that happening.
Dude, he's the best in the world.
He's the best wrestler in the world.
He's never been a wrestler, but he is the best wrestler in the world.
The best.
There's a really weird emphasis on. Well, it's like wrestling promotions want to get heat, but WWE wants to get heat more than anything, and they're so like that. That's the main importance is just making us hate something. And
they're doing it.
And with Shane McMahon getting the title, like, you're gonna get the boos and the heat and stuff you want, but to what end? Like, what are we really getting? What is anybody getting out of it?
What's the payoff thing here?
What's the
payoff?
It's
like,
you don't put anybody over when you drop the belt. When he drops the belt to anybody.
Yeah, nobody's like ascending to stardom because they beat fucking Shane McMahon for the title. It's basically like, well, who's the first person to get in the ring with him? Like,
is it
surely I see either Daniel Bryan going back face or AJ Styles taking the title off of him, but everyone's talking about, like, I don't know. Dude.
Let me pose this, because I could see Daniel Bryan. Let me pose this though, and does it work? Do you get the just scorching nuclear heat of maybe even the go away heat of McMahon, and you have him drop to Reigns? Does that keep Reigns from getting the boos back, so to speak?
I don't think so. No. Truthfully, I don't think that. I haven't noticed so much hate on Reigns as late.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's just kind of like, yeah, all right, he's not in the main event picture.
Those that hated, those that booed, are kind of back to the indifference.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, fine. Like, I didn't think that Reigns was that bad whenever he was catching all the heat. It wasn't his fault. He was put in the position. I mean, but I think that since they've kind of slowed down with him since he came back, which thankfully they kind of had to, but since they've slowed down with him and they've kind of just been pacing it out, I think that whenever his time comes again, it might not be like world-changing babyface super fucking over, but I think they're going to be on the right track.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I don't know. The more I think about it, I think there are definitely ways they could do it. Here is one that I just like put in my head and I was like, oh, I don't hate that. It's not great. But if WWE absolutely has to put the title on Shane McMahon, here's how I want it to go.
Okay.
So Shane McMahon is still attacking Miz on SmackDown by having people come out and just kick the shit out of him, whatever.
Yep.
Have Shane McMahon beat Kofi Kingston and have it be like Miz's redemption song because he's already lost twice to him.
It should be Miz.
It should. And so have him come out and even do something like, why should you get a third chance? Well, I'll put my career on the line if you put the title up. And then they do a world or a WWE title match, Miz versus Shane McMahon. Miz gets his next title run because it's been years. I think it's been almost 10 years. And Miz does so much for WWE, both in and outside of the company, like the actual television show.
Well, I mean, when he's done, I think we'll look back and say he was one of the best Intercontinental champs of all time.
Yeah, and like a lot of people talk shit about his like WrestleMania run and his title run, but like the amount of promotion that he did, the level of promos he was cutting, like he was doing great stuff. I think ultimately John Cena was not the opponent for him, and I think that they probably booked it fucking poorly because they were trying to save John Cena instead of John Cena actually putting somebody over. What a crazy fucking concept. But I think now is the chance to redeem that. You make Miz look like he redeemed himself off of these terrible fucking losses because he lost to Shane McMahon twice, both clean if I'm not mistaken. I mean, the first one was kind of a fucking goofy finish where they fell off and Shane just happened to be on top. Yeah. Like, but then you save him and then you can give him some good guy feuds against Kofi Kingston. Like, let these two good guys be like, hey, I lost to this fucking schmuck. He cheated. Let me get a shot. And go through and do that. At that point, I don't fucking care who wins. Because Shane is out of the picture. Miz has gotten a redemption. And at least Kofi gets, like, another shot.
I wouldn't hate it. I mean, I wouldn't hate to see Miz with a belt.
I think if he's going to have one, it has to be the SmackDown title. They're not going to give him the Raw title. Ever.
No, absolutely not.
They don't even want Seth Rollins to have it. He's just the only one who could.
That's a weird concept, too, because Miz is on Raw, right?
Yeah, definitely. But...
I mean, wild card.
Yeah, that shit doesn't matter.
Why
dude.
can't you win the SmackDown title on Raw?
Well, Alexa Bliss, right?
Wild card, bro.
Is Alexa Bliss is a Raw?
Yes, she is Raw and she's
wrestling
competing for the SmackDown title. Same thing for Becky Lynch was SmackDown superstar. technically, Becky Lynch still is a SmackDown superstar with the Raw title.
Mm-hmm.
That's so stupid.
Brand split's dead.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's a big fucking lie, and they just haven't acknowledged it. I think they're gonna just like talk about it less and less, and hope it just fades into existence, because they clearly don't care. It doesn't matter to them. But
So,
shit.
I got one thing to throw out there.
Okay.
It's been weighing on me as of late. Guys, everyone who is talking about leaving WWE, they're not all going to go to AEW. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Because if they went to AEW, they'd just be sitting on the sideline there as well. Just wanted to mention it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Everyone can't just go to AEW. You would just have WWE
Well,
2.0 then.
Not only that, but we just saw, again, apparently Maria and Mike Kanellis just signed
5-year
deals. So not everybody, that may be as reported is in.
I think that some people who are just, because it is still a job at the end of the day, so you're still trying to get the most money you can out of it.
Zack Ryder.
Well, so people who are just concerned about making sure that their livelihood is good.
Yeah.
So
honestly, they got a new baby too. I think
Yeah.
they're not upset about showing up for a main event taping and then going home the rest of the week.
Yeah, like the play is to act like you want to go to AEW now to get a bigger check. And I ain't mad at the hustle.
Yeah.
But seriously, guys, not everyone's gonna leave and go to AEW. Just one more time there.
Forget that negativity. Everyone should leave and go to AEW.
Yeah.
And even if they're not getting used, they should still just not be in WWE.
Sin Cara's still
fucking stick
WWE.
it
Let's
to
get
him.
him to AEW.
He can go to AAA, and then by proxy, he can show up on AEW a couple times.
I mean,
Because the thing is, Sin Cara was huge in Mexico, and there's still money in that.
Yeah.
So let him go back to where he was. Let fucking Andrade go back too. Let Andrade go back to Mexico and by proxy be part of AEW through the crossover stuff.
I think that the better thing for the business as a whole though is if some of that talent gets dispersed elsewhere.
I
ROH
agree.
gets a little piece.
And that's why I'm not saying
gets a little
AEW,
piece, New
but like,
Japan gets a little piece.
Honestly, Sin Cara, like actually getting to be Sin Cara, I would love to see.
That'd be dope.
So if he went to like AAA or something and we got to see him occasionally on AEW, I think that'd be cool. Same thing for Andrade. Andrade, I would love to see in AEW. Even if he went there full time, I think that'd be great.
I'd like to see Andrade anywhere where they don't treat weight like it's such a big deal.
Dude, I don't think weight is... So, the rumor for Andrade is Andrade went to Vince McMahon directly and said, I want to push. And Vince said, I'll push you when you learn to speak English. So, apparently Andrade is going through and trying to learn English. But what a fucking shitty thing to say to somebody. You're talking about how you want... Because it's known that WWE wants all these, these Mexican stars to get, the Latino demographic. It's the same reason that they pushed Rey Mysterio so hard. This is the reason that Sin Cara was getting pushed so hard when he first showed up. Even when, I want to say Sin Cara either got hurt or got suspended, and they just swapped him out. They put somebody else under the mask. It's because they want to sell those masks. They want to sell the Mexican-style wrestling merchandise to people who are a fan of that style. And Andrade is that guy. He's easily that guy.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
He could be a world champion and fucking make it believable because these matches that he's putting on, if he had a belt and they were for the belt, it's just like, oh yeah, it makes sense. He's fucking amazing.
I want to see Andrade and Aleister Black over a title at some point. My gosh.
I just want to see Aleister Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrade and Aleister Black wrestled in NXT.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was great.
Yeah, I want to see it on the main roster. There's money in that. The masses need to see that match.
The black masses.
No, just the regular masses who haven't been converted yet.
Yeah.
You need more black masses.
That's the name of a finisher, by the way, and not any comment on African Americans.
Oh gosh.
It was just like a bad pun.
Oh gosh.
This whole part will probably get edited out.
Yeah. No, I just leave it in. It takes a lot of work on my end to. And we're starting again. Welcome back, guys.
Cut point.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll just look. Yeah.
Oh, the masses. Yes. Yeah. Did you know that Aleister Black had a finish called the Black Mass?
Oh my god.
It's a spin kick.
A spinning heel kick.
Aleister Black couldn't wrestle in Super Showdown because of his tattoos.
Yeah, his tattoos are religiously insensitive.
No, it's not even that. You know what it is? The one on his back is a symbol of female empowerment.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
It's so... Why? Why? Oh gosh!
Jeez.
If WWE had
Christ.
an actual working PR department, they would not have that Saudi deal.
You're right. You're right.
That's insane.
All right. So that's pretty much it for our list of rumors, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. The link will be down below. We also have our individual Twitters we can throw on there in case you want to just like stalk us, DM us. Don't send us dick pics. But yeah, guys, we'll be having more regular content updated. We're gonna have a prediction show for good old Stomping Ground out very soon as well. So keep an eye out for that. And then our content will start to ramp up as we get closer to the debut of AEW television. Fuck yes.
Please hurry up and get here.
Yeah, please get here. But anyway, guys, once again, for Smart Week, I've been Chase.
Ethan.
John, go.
See ya.